Hey guys, Vanessa Landego here, movement lesson practitioner with vision support, and today I'm going to show you some play-based exercises for working on the independent sitting milestone. I will be showing these exercises in play with my very busy 4-year-old son. In order to work on any milestone in a play-based manner, we really need to understand what the optimal performance of the milestone looks like, and then we want to use movement lesson techniques, gentle touch, rotation, and enhance the optimal performance of this milestone. Independent sitting begins to happen around 5 months old. Please note, for optimal independent sitting, your child is making use of movement combinations they have learned in previous milestones, like rolling over and grabbing their feet. If your child has a poor movement foundation in these previous milestones, it can make independent sitting hard. Optimal independent sitting is independent. If your child cannot maintain a sitting position or requires propping, this is a non-optimal performance of the milestone. For optimal independent sitting, your child should be able to come to midline as well as cross midline, maintaining an upright position while the hands are free to play. You should notice a nice smooth rotation within the chest area and weight transfer across the body as your child makes use of the opposite side hand to reach for items. If you notice your child can sit up but requires their hands for a tripod sit, or can't cross midline, or uses the same side hand to reach for objects, this is a non-optimal performance of the milestone. Independent sitting should look easy, fluid, and smooth, while your child is able to maintain balance and explore. In independent sitting, your child is beginning to explore the world in relationships to the laws of gravity for the first time independently in a vertical position. Vision development during independent sitting is working on those previous skills of depth perception, tracking, hand-eye coordination, while maintaining an independent vertical position. We are now adding the development of spatial awareness. They're seeing the world from a higher and broader perspective, and it enhances their understanding of spatial relationships, such as how one object relates to another in their environment. During this stage, you should notice your baby have improved focus for both near and far. Around 6 months of age, your child should have their first routine eye checkup. Your baby should also have better developed facial recognition and smoother pursuits as their tracking strengthens. You should start to notice your child gaining interest in finer details, like the texture and shape of a toy, as their vision has sharpened. While an in-depth knowledge of vision is not always required, if you have concerns for vision, now is the time to book in your first eye exam. Now I will show you how I would work on this milestone and play with my son. In this exercise, my son is in my lap. I have one hand on his chest and the other underneath his arm. We are playing, and I am setting up toys so that we can work on that reach across the body, a midline crossing, while he grabs an item. In this exercise, I'm working on the rotation of the upper chest into his scapula for that more optimal reach. I strategically place toys and items that work on that optimal midline crossing. In this exercise, I'm changing my focus to working on the pelvis, going in and out of a pubic bone strike. As my child reaches forward, I am looking to roll the pelvis down to the floor. Changing the position of the pelvis travels along the spine and causes the chest to push out. This helps maintain balance when reaching. In this exercise, I have my child on my lap. I am making use of tilting my leg down to roll the pelvis into a strike as my child reaches up. This position allows you to use both your hands and your leg to coordinate movements. In this exercise, I'm making use of a hug position. I always recommend working in a hug position as it allows you to feel for smooth rotations in many different directions. Here I'm looking for a nice sway of his chest. In this exercise, I am swinging with my son. Swinging activates the cerebellum, which plays a role in balance. Swinging also helps stimulate the vestibular system, responsible for balance and motor skills. In this exercise, I'm making use of pool noodles. I am changing my position off to the side to encourage bilateral coordination and visual tracking skills. I want to encourage pubic bone strike and midline crossing. This exercise shows me being mindful when playing by adjusting the position of our toys to ensure I encourage the body to practice a pubic bone strike and midline crossing. Here are some examples of me working with my son as a baby. I offer light support hanging technique always under the body. I am placing his snacks onto the side and offering a gentle rotation into his pelvis to keep his movement successful. Here is a close-up visual of supporting rotation in the pelvis for sitting. It is amazing to see how far he has come from unable to sit at 1 year old to a very busy 4-year-old.